This episode of Seeing Red is presented in stereoscopic 3D and needs red and blue anaglyph glasses to view properly. But you can watch this episode in monochromatic 2D by clicking the link in the description. How's it, gaming? I'm Phil in the Blanks, and welcome to episode 17 of Seeing Red, a series of videos looking at the entirety of the Virtual Boy library. This is Space Invaders Virtual Collection, brought to you by Taito. I actually don't know if Taito is still a company that exists. Probably got bought out by something. Anyways, Space Invaders Virtual Collection, a Japanese exclusive Virtual Boy game, which I think is a little weird. All the text in this is in English, and North America absolutely had heard of Space Invaders, so you'd think this would be an easy North American release, but no. Japanese exclusive. Let's just jump in there. There are three main modes, each with a couple options. The main draw, of course, is the virtual 3D mode. Hey, look at this. It's on the Virtual Boy. It's in 3D. Whoop-de-doo. And you also have the original 2D version and a little bit of a challenge mode. We'll jump into each of them and see a little bit. This isn't going to be a very long episode, simply because there's not a lot to this game, even for a collection. Original 2D, you get the choice of Space Invaders and Space Invaders Part 2. Space Invaders 1, let's go. I like the little border there, because the original Space Invaders was, of course, not a widescreen game. And it was still surprising to me that the Virtual Boy was a widescreen machine. And I believe that this is a pretty faithful iteration of the original Space Invaders. I mean, mind you, by this point, I think every machine could pull off a fairly reasonable facsimile of Space Invaders. It's not like it was a very difficult game to kind of recreate. I mean, look at this. It's pretty simple. Which makes sense. This was 1978. And I believe the first big Japanese hit. It was such a big deal that there was a shortage of 10 yen coins because they were being used for this. Now, can you imagine just living in a time where, like, there is a shortage of dimes in America because of this random arcade game? I think that's crazy, but this was absolutely massive. And I think everyone has played or at least seen someone play Space Invaders. It's pretty ubiquitous with just video games in general. You are that little tank at the bottom. You gotta stop the invaders from invading your space. Can I get the UFO? Let's see if I can get the UFO. No, you're gonna be right in the way. Damn. Basically, they go left to right, and once they hit the border on the left or right on the sides there, they go down just a little bit. And they go a little bit faster every time you kill a couple of invaders. And if they get to the ground, they've invaded your space, and thus they have won. And I don't know, I think it might be is it a full-on game over, or just maybe just lose a life? I'm not sure. We'll try to keep that from happening. You have these little barriers to protect yourself, but if you get the UFO, yay! If you are a madman, you can shoot through your own barriers and take out he got me! And take out the enemies. But it's pretty standard now, but this was like the beginning of a whole friggin' genre. The standalone single-screen spaceship shooter. And that's a great little genre. Okay, we're getting there. Oh, they're getting really fast now. You gotta shoot where they're going to be instead of shooting where they are. Oh my gosh, that's so fast. Ah! Oh goodness. Ah! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh, this isn't good. He goes faster to the right, it seems. No! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm choking like Fry did in that one episode of Futurama. Gosh. Oh my goodness. There we go, and that is Space Invaders. We're not gonna last too long, I don't think, with that kind of expertise. Goodness. But yeah, like I said, this basically invented an entire genre of video game. And we all kind of have our little favorite versions of this genre. I grew up with Galaga. That was my big one. That and Astro Smash for the Mattel Television, which I think is only known nowadays because Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory had a shirt with that game on it, but I loved that game. But yeah, that and Galaga. Galaga was such a big deal. Such a big change to this. But a lot of games... there we go. A lot of games kind of ripped off the Space Invaders idea because it's a pretty simple idea. We can press start and select and L and R to reset. There is no quit back to the main menu in the pause screen, which I think is ridiculous for a game like this. You'd think they would. All right, Space Invaders Part 2. It is completely different. Oh my goodness. Look at that. It has a full title screen and everything. That's how different it is. This was released in 1979, 1 year after Space Invaders 1. So at that time in computer games and arcade games, there wasn't a big difference between, like, sequels. Like, in North America, this came out in North America as Space Invaders Deluxe instead of Space Invaders Part 2. And really the only difference is, like, there's some better animation when the levels start. The UFOs can do different things, and it can actually respawn some of the Space Invaders. Sometimes the Space Invaders will turn into, I think, like, a multiple little smaller Space Invaders. Other than that, it's really just a harder version of Space Invaders, because that's what sequels were back then. So really, there's not really a big difference here, but still very cool that they included it. Even by then, though, there was a lot of different Space Invaders games, so they could have really done more with this. Space Invaders, like, 90 or something, I don't know, there was a few different ones. I think the one that a lot of people know that's, like, famous now is Space Invaders Extreme, I think it's called, which is very, very cool. I remember playing on the PSP a lot. And there's, like, a new one, it's like Space Invaders Infinity Gene or something like that. It's like, holy shit, never thought a Space Invaders game would have a name like that, but no, I liked Galaga. A lot of companies, like I said, they kind of did little Space Invaders clones, and Namco made Galaxian, which then became Galaga. Even Nintendo, one of their first games that they tried to reach the North American market was Radar Scope, which was their take on a Space Invaders game, because, like, that was just what it was like back then. Thank goodness that failed miserably, and they made Donkey Kong. I love the, it's not music, right? It's just like, the march of the aliens coming down into our atmosphere. It's just very cool. I'm pretty sure this is, I don't know if it's considered a myth or if it actually was the case, but from what I remember is the reason why they go faster is actually because a programming thing where, was that a game over already? Okay, no. Oh geez, you're gonna land on the ground, aren't you? Oh my gosh. Basically, every time there was less stuff on the screen, the processor would just go faster, had that miss. There we go. And that would cause it to go, the enemies to go faster. And they just liked it so much that they kept it in, basically. That was cute. Little, almost like a Pac-Man style cutscene. This came out before Pac-Man, so 1979 for this one, 1978 for the original. Which I guess means that this is the oldest video game we've ever played on the channel. Now, it's a collection, thus it's the 1995 that I'm, like, counting. So it's not the original 1978 version. But we did play Scramble on this channel. That's 1980, I think. Or is it? Yeah, 1980. So I think that was the oldest game we've ever played, but this is technically older if it was the original arcade game, which it's not. Let's go back to the title screen. Now that we played the original 2D versions of Space Invaders 1 and Part 2, let's check out the virtual 3D one. I will warn you, I found the 3D really rough on the eyes. Like, it really hurt. And it could be, again, because I'm emulating this and using 80s Anaglyph 3D glasses instead of the original Virtual Boy hardware, but I found this really difficult in the eyes, so. But outside of the Virtual Boy, without the 3D, I think this is actually really neat. It just kind of does it's the same basic game, except it's tilted. I kind of like this. This is pretty cool. Look at that. I just ran right into that. I was just going left to right to show you, but I think that's actually pretty cool. Plus, when they explode, they kind of splash a little bit. I like that. I don't know. I think that's a pretty cute idea, but I find the graphics really a lot in the 3D version. You'd think it would have been hard to mess that up, but I feel like they did. So maybe that's just me. But other than that, the game is pretty much the same thing, except you got that added depth, which is a cool idea. I don't know if it's like programmed to actually run identical to Space Invaders, and it really is just the graphics to make it look different, but the programming itself is identical. Like, maybe in the background, it actually is like playing Space Invaders in the code, and then just presenting it like this to the player. I have no idea. But it's pretty cute. Careful. Kind of want to see if... I'm not going to make it because I already died twice, because these old games, man, they are not meant to last very long. You're meant to die quickly. Jeez, and there we go. Game over already. Okay, fine then. Space Invaders Part 2. I just kind of want to see if the second level is like a different background. Oh, whoa, there's a different background just in general for this. Shame that the Virtual Boy really only has 4 shades of red because this is like, that's a rough background, but whatever. Where am I? There I am. See if we can make it to the second level. Space Invaders 2. Obviously, taking out the sides is really the best thing to do, because that means the longer it'll take for them to get to the sides to kind of keep going downwards. It's easy to get hit in this one, man. Probably because it's hard to kind of see exactly where the shots are going to hit. Fine, I'll just take you guys out here. I really want to take out those 3 on the left there. Come on, hit. There we go. There we go, and ignore the UFO. I don't care. He's not doing anything. He's not invading my space. Okay, we're doing much better now. Oh, come on, no! These old arcade games are so intense. They're so simple, but you're just like, I can do this. Ah, damn it, jeez. It's a good thing we're not being invaded by real aliens, or else... Well, I mean, hopefully someone else would be taking care of this and not me. Goodness. Oh my gosh, it's hard to just even get in there for a second and get a shot out. Get you? Okay. Got you. Oh, no, they're blocking my shots with their own shots. How devious. Okay. Come on. Good. Oh. Still going. It's even harder with this 3D perspective. Oh, so close. Not close. Ah! Whoa! Oh, that was cool. That was really neat. The explosion forward. Oh, the background doesn't change. That's okay. Oh, we got a 1-up. Look at us go. Whole high score. Actually, no. The high score is 5,000. We're not even close to that. It's so funny to think of a high score being 5,000. Nowadays, I think arcade games get so insane with high scores. You play some Japanese games and it's like, you move to the left for a second, 6 million points! And like, if you've ever played like a bullet hell game, the pointage in those games can be insane. Dance games too, same thing. It's like, what's your high score for the song? Oh, 99 million. It's like, oh, geez, okay, it seems like a lot. Oh, geez. Ah, damn. Well, there we go. That was 3D Space Invaders Part 2. Last little section is the little challenge mode, which has 2 challenges: time attack, how quick can you clear it, and score attack, how many points can you get. Well, by clear it, do you mean die? Because I do that very quickly in this game. Now, is it Space Invaders 1 or 2? Looks like it's 1. It looks like it's the 3D specifically. Well, we'll see. Whoops. Oh, the pause doesn't let me look at the thing. Looks like the high score is 1 minute 4 seconds. I doubt I'll make that, but let's try it out. It's starting out pretty strongly, I guess, so far. I got a whole line there. There we go. Move on to the next. Don't block my shots. How there wasn't a Space Invaders movie, I'll never know. They really should get on that. There was supposed to be a Tetris movie. Now, like, there was a Tetris movie, obviously, and it's fantastic. I really like it. But originally, I remember when they announced it, this was like 20 years ago now, they announced that there was going to be a Tetris movie, and it was going to be like a sci-fi kind of thing, unlike anything that anyone had ever seen. Obviously, it never came true because that's the stupidest idea in the world. But I think a Space Invaders movie, even nowadays, I think they could pull it off. I don't care if it's like, oh, they just got a bunch of well-known Western action heroes, and it, like, I don't care. That Space Invaders feels like the type of game / movie that you could actually do that. It doesn't need to be really integral to, like, how the game was. As long as there's a scene where they're all coming down and they need to stop them from landing. I didn't even make it. Well, I was past the time anyways. Jeez. 1 minute 4. How would you even do that? Last one, score attack. Need a score of 3,000 apparently, which I'm not going to get. I mean, when you get down to it, a time attack mode. Oh, yeah, just split up into. Oh, they're doing the weird split up thing. It looks very interesting. Score attack mode is kind of dumb. I mean, oh wow. isn't the game entirely a score attack mode anyways? I mean, isn't that the point of Space Invaders, of old arcade games anyways? Whatever. Oh, random little tidbit. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this. Space Invaders, I believe, was the very first game to have a high score table. It was never done in a video game before. And that's pretty cool. I like that little bit of oh geez, he's spawning new ones, damn you. A little bit of trivia there. So if you're ever like at a bar trivia, they ever ask that, you know what it is. That actually happened to my brother-in-law. They have a little bar trivia, and the question was, what was the first game to have a save file to let you save your game? And that is Legend of Zelda, and it was great because he got it. My brother-in-law actually ended up getting that, and he came back. He's like, I got that because of you, Phil. I'm like, oh, I'm so proud of you. It's just, I don't know, fun little things like that. But anyways, that was Space Invaders Virtual Collection. Not a whole lot to the game at all, really. To be honest, you could have fit way more Space Invaders on this, but still, if you're in the mood for some classic Space Invader kind of game, well, don't play this one. It's very expensive for the Virtual Boy. But you know, put on some Rush, get a bottle of Shasta, and have a good old time. But with that, I'm Fill in the Blanks. See you next level. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this episode, click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to know when the next episode is up. If you want to support my channel, share some videos with some friends and consider supporting me on Patreon.